you don't feel comfortable going up and down, you absolutely should not, because we're not there to help you. If you don't have someone there, that's the first rule, right?
Right.
All right, anybody got anything they want to say today? Any special requests?
Lower back.
Lower back.
Mindy, why is it that I cannot, this is Dileep's iPad. I don't know why I'm not being able to focus on you. I can just do gallery view. Is
Okay,
anybody having that problem?
so there is, did someone highlight me yet?
Yes, you're spotlighted.
Okay, so I don't know where it is on your computer, but in my top right, I have I have the option. It says view, and I can do gallery view or speaker view. I think.
Okay, let me log out and I'll get back in and see if it works next time. Thanks, Mindy.
Okay.
I have set it on the front of chair or not. Indeed.
Yes, Esther.
I have set it in the front of wheelchair or not because I cannot move.
You're gonna. I don't see you in a wheelchair, Esther.
Depends on walker.
You got the walker?
Yeah, walker beside me.
Okay, that's good to keep you
I
safe.
said in front of chair or not.
We're gonna be in
Right.
the chair, so you can be in the chair with the walker near you.
Do
So
I have
the
to
first half
set
of
it
the class
front?
on Fridays is in the chair. And then we go down to the earth. So skip that part, or you can kind of stay with us and do some of the
Set it
adaptation.
in the front of chair or not. I have to set front of chair or not.
You have two chairs?
No, I have set it because I hardly cannot move. I
Okay,
need set it middle of a chair or front of a chair.
yes. So I'll show you
I have
sometimes
set it middle of front of the chair.
the front of the chair.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anybody, any questions, any comments, anything? I know you can't see me because I go up close to see you guys. You know I got this set up here, so I can try to see you, right? All right, well, you're being very quiet this morning, very quiet. So that means you're gonna let me just kind of go on with the plan here.
Okay,
All right.
go ahead and mute everyone. Enjoy your session.
Thank you very much. If you need to unmute yourself to ask a question, you can. I think we had that happen once, but you know, really, if there's a question and it's a question of safety or that I'm not being clear, you should know that you should ask that question because probably someone else is thinking it themselves. Okay, I just was making sure I was on do not disturb, so we don't get disturbed. Okay, so I hope your class was good on Wednesday. It was a Jewish holiday, Yom Kippur, so I had a sub. And so let's start with a breathing prep, a breathing technique that helps to clear, right? So you can just think of creating space in your body as we inhale and exhale, letting go of anything that's not needed. So you might inhale and think about replacing the space in your body with types of qualities that you want to invite in through your practice over the next hour. So let's inhale in and feel the space in our body. And then exhale out. Begin to let anything that's not serving you release. Now we're exhaling out through the nose. As we inhale, we're making space for the new. It's refreshing. And as we exhale, we let it go. So a lot of people think of fall as a time to let go. Because the trees are letting go, nature is letting go. And so we instinctively follow or are in alignment with nature. Breathe in what you would like to cultivate in your practice today. Exhale out any emotions, feelings, sensation, let them go if they're not serving you. It doesn't mean they're going to necessarily go away, but you're sending the message that way, and energy does follow our thoughts. Breathe in and breathe out. So imagine this air is erasing anything you don't want in there, making space for all the new, and exhale and let it go. So these are intentions. Soft breath in and soft breath out. Good. Let's inhale and swing the arms forward. Open them out to the side. Beautiful. Bring the hands towards each other. Inhale, open them up. Beautiful. Lifting maybe towards a V, elbows may be bent. And then exhale, lower the arms down, palms are forward. I'm going to come a little bit more towards the front of the chair. Inhale, we lift up. And exhale, we lower. Inhale, it's like we're making a V for victory. And exhale, we lower. So notice how the pointy fingers are down and the thumbs are turning out. This is an external rotation. Inhale, we lift. Open up the arms. Now start to feel the shoulder blades come together without a squeezing. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, swing them forward. Exhale, take them down. Open up your palms. Let's find a twist. Left hand outside, right thigh, very gentle. Press your feet down into the mat or the earth. Inhale, feel a swish of energy through your torso. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, float the arms towards the left and towards the right and just kind of swish it around as though you are erasing anything that you just don't want right now. And then take your right hand towards the outside of the left thigh and left hand behind you. Breathe in. Invite space into the body. Breathe out. We let go. Swoosh the air in through you. Exhaling, let it go out through the nose. Come back to center. So we had a request for lower back. Let's start with just tilting the pelvis forward and back. You can take your hands to the top of your pelvis so you feel it as you flow forward and back. The top of the pelvis is what's moving. Very often, when there is a tight lower back, it's going to be tough to do this. So the movement might be very small. You might just feel it's just a little subtle movement. And as we begin to open up the body, you may feel more. So this is very similar to cat-cow. As you breathe in, the pelvis tilts forward, belly expands. As you breathe out, the pelvis tilts back, the belly pulls in. Now this is key. You've heard about core work for the lower spine. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, pull the belly in and up. It's really the pelvic floor that's going in and up as well. Tilt forward. Exhale, pull in and up. Forward and back. And forward and back. Pull the belly in and up. Let's lift tall, arms down by the side. So where do you want to be for neutral? You want to be about midway point between forward and back. See if you can find that spot. Then lift up and out of your waist. Take your arms down by your side, swing them upwards. Exhale, pull them back. I want you to feel your shoulder blades. The area right between your blades, the blades are coming together, and this is the area you feel moving. So they're right in the center of the upper back. Inhale forward, exhale, pull it back. That's it. Inhale forward, exhale, pull it back. Now, go ahead and turn your palms in so they're outwards and the back of the hands are facing towards each other. Notice what that feels like. It is a lot harder to pull your shoulder blades. In fact, I don't even think it's possible. Let them go, your arms go forward, and then pull it back. And notice how that's a lot harder to pull your shoulder blades together. We're going to get rid of that. I just wanted you to feel that. Now, bring the palms on top of the thighs, round your spine, take your chin to your chest, lean back, feel the shoulder blades come off your back. Inhale, make a V or a cactus. And then exhale, swing them down. Feel the shoulder blades come together and the pelvis tilt forward. We are in a back bend. Inhale, lift the arm bones. Now lean back a little bit. Take your chin to your chest. And that's a flexion. So back bend. And then it's a teeny forward bend because we're taking our chin to our chest. And one more. And lift on up. Good. Let's take a side bend now towards the right. Inhale to center. Now push down through your feet. Relax your jaw. Lift tall. Side bend towards your left. Inhale to center. Let's touch behind our head and towards our shoulders. Yep, keep the head tall and it'll tend to turn one way. So try to keep the nose forward. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, other side. Yeah, this is a long time to keep your arms up. If they're getting tired, bring them down. Touch back behind there. Inhale back to cactus. Open up your arms. Back to cactus. Let's extend forward. Now the pelvis is going forward. Hands at your hips. Anchor your hips down. You're going to feel the belly tone. Take your arms out to the side. Bring your right forearm to the thigh. And gaze at your left fingertips that are out to the side. Exhale, lower the arm down. Inhale, lift it back up. Maybe you gaze towards your fingertips. You're only going to your range of motion. Can't compare to anybody else. Exhale, lower down, or where you think it should be. Inhale, flow the arm out to the side. Take your mind's eye to your shoulder blade and feel how it's moving. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, lift it back up. Push down through your feet. Now this time I want you to push the tips of your toes down. Inhale, both arms are out to T. Bring your thumbs on the inside of your palms. Circle your knuckles around and about. Let's open up this wrist joint, right? Everything gets a little sticky. It's getting a little cooler out. Release your toes if you didn't already. And take your hands down to your lap. Circle the shoulders around and about. Get rid of any tightness that creeps in. You can always do this. If you start to feel tightness, let it go. Now, let's do a few little feet exercises. I want you to push the tips of your toes down and push the pads of your fingers down, and notice how your arches activate. You don't have to look at them. In fact, maybe not, don't look at them. Just push them down strongly and then release. Let that go. So we're building strength in our feet. We're building strength in our feet. Let's do that again. Push the pads of your toes down. They're spread. And I want you to think about pulling the tips of your toes towards you. So the arch is going to lift a bit here. We're strengthening that. And then let it go. Inhale, lift the right heel very slow. Let's go for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use resistance. So as you're lifting and lowering your heel, you're pushing down. Here we go, left side. Push down through the ball of the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel the pressure down and then go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's more of a controlled movement. Let's do both sides. So push down across, spread your toes wildly, and then inhale, lift at a count of 4. Feel the lift. Feel the lift. Notice if there's any weight coming to the inside or the outside of your feet. So you don't want your ankles to buckle in or out. And now go slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it go. So important that we do these feet exercises. It's so important. Okay, I didn't forget the other side. So now take your left forearm to the thigh. And then inhale, right arm goes outward. And then exhale and flow it down. So you want to make sure you're not dropping down, right? You can use a little bit of leverage, pressing your forearm down to give you a little bit of space in between your torso and your thighs. Inhaling, right arm out to the side. Maybe you gaze at it. If that's okay with your neck, ask your neck. And then exhale and lower down. Take your mind, your gaze to your shoulder blade. So you're thinking about your shoulder blade as your arm lifts. Inhaling, arms out to the side and upwards. You might even turn it into a slight back bend. And then exhale, lower it down. One more time. Inhaling, arm out to the side. And exhale, let it go. Rise back up. Okay, let's lengthen our legs. The legs are the governor of the back. That lower back, it will get pulled on if your hamstrings are tight. So, you know, I don't have a roller down here at the moment, but massage the back of your hamstrings. Give them a good massage. Go for a massage. You know, I love that. It's so important. So if you can't go for one, you got to do it yourself. Give yourself a massage behind your hamstring of your right leg and then your left. Now, here's kind of a roller. You could do something like this and roll it underneath there. So get the fascia moving so that it's not tight, and keep rolling it and massaging it. Really get in there. If you like using foam rollers, that's good too. Good. Then, if you have a second chair, bring it on over and you can place your feet on that chair. I'll use the block and you can pretend that's my second chair. You can always use blocks or an ottoman in front of you. So, here we go. Strap around the foot. Strap around the foot. You can place the heel on the chair in front of you or on blocks as so. It just gives you a little bit more of focus on stretching the back of your leg because your leg is relaxing down on something. And then I'm crossing the tie. You certainly don't have to. Shoulders are up and back. Now, here's the pelvis forward. Take your pelvis forward and notice the stretch in the back of your leg. Then take your pelvis upright You can feel your shoulder blades on your back here. Take a few breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. Turn the leg out. Toes out, heel in. Toes out. You can always hold the tie with one hand too. And try not to clasp it and clench your jaw. What they've noticed in studies is if we have a tight jaw, very often we are tight in the hips, in the pelvic area. So feel the external rotation, toes are out, heel is in. Then bring the foot back upwards. Now notice if your knee is locking. That happens a lot. If it does, and you can do this anyway, push your heel down and get a little bit of softness behind the knee, a little bend. And then you can play with bending the knee and then slowly straightening it and bending and straightening as you push down through the heel and pull your toes towards you. So pressing the heel away, toes are upright, heel is pressing away and down, knee bends, and then slowly straightens. And you may lift it for a breath or two if it wasn't on a chair. I'm just going to do this just for a little lift. And then bend the knee on in and place the foot down. Feel the difference in sides. Then we'll go to the other side. So strap a round foot, place it on a chair or blocks in front of you, or maybe it's down on the earth, which is absolutely fine. I'll show it here. I'm moving this out to the side so you can see that leg. You don't need to do that. So shoulders up and back. I feel the shoulder blades on my back. Then gently pull the tie towards you. I like to play with where the tie is at the bottom of the foot. It feels different when it's in the center of the arch versus onto the ball of the foot. So you can notice that too. When it's on the ball of the foot, I'm feeling it more in the calf area. When it's at the arch or down towards the heel, it changes it up. Maybe I'm feeling it more up the leg, but you notice what you feel. You can play with tilt the pelvis forward. Feel how that changes it up. Tilt the pelvis neutral. Feel how that is. Take it back. I don't really like that, and it's probably not a good idea because it's pulling on your hip flexors. So don't do that. Don't lean, try not to lean back when you're doing a stretch through your leg. That will be better for your back and for your hip flexors. So now let's turn the toes out, heels in. Breathe in, breathe out. So you could breathe in saying something like, I'm breathing in length, and then I'm breathing out tightness. I'm breathing in length and softness, and I'm breathing out any contraction and holding that's not serving me. There's going to be some contraction because we're flexing the foot. And then inhale, toes back upright. Now let's play with bending the knee in a little bit and then pushing the heel away without locking it. This can be really tough. So be patient with yourself. Inhale, pull the knee in. Exhale, push the heel away. Inhale, it pulls in. Heel is pressing down. And then gently press it away. And then you may lift the leg up, shoulders up and back, and then release the tie and let that go. Let that go. Super important that we open up our hips for the back. So let's start with goddess. Knees out to the side. Knees out to the side. And let's take our arms into cactus. Beautiful. Breathe in. And breathe out. Cross your arms. Give yourself a hug. Yes, yoga hug time. And then bring attention to your feet, roll your knees in. Feel them roll in, and so now the pressure is on the outside of the foot. Now roll your knees out. Pressure is on the outside of the foot. Try not to collapse the ankles. Come back to center. Open it up. Arms out to the side. Good. Push down through your feet. As you push down through your feet, feel your pelvic floor pull in and up. We are tall. We're going to keep this length as we find a side bend towards the right. Forearm on the thigh. Circle the arm up. Maybe it bends into cactus. And then reach it over the ear to your range of motion. Yeah, you can circle the arm around and about if you so choose. Get a nice stretch there. Now remember the strengthening of the feet. Go ahead and push the pads of your feet down like you're making those arches. You don't need to look at them. Then let that go and lift your toes. We're not even looking at them. There's no reason to. We're bringing our mind's eye to different parts of the body while we're in pose. Lower the toes down, press down to your feet, rise up. Exhale, float the arms down. Good, other way. Forearm to thigh, shoulders on back. Whether you lift the arm or not, you can feel your shoulders on your back. You know what? Go ahead and just hang this arm just so you can feel that. When we're just hanging our arm, and that happens a lot when our shoulders are forward, we're very disconnected. So now when we take the shoulder up and back, our arm is more connected. Then you may go into cactus and lengthen the arm over the ear. Good. Take a breath in and a breath out. Anchor your hips down into the chair. Feel your belly tone on that exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm breathing in space, meaning space into the body, making space. I'm exhaling out tightness on the side of my body. Push down through your feet. Inhale, we rise up. Beautiful. Release your arms down and bring your knees back together. Let's do our number 4 pose. And so you might have blocks, 1 or 2, or whatever you need to support. We're starting with the right knee bent out to the side. So this is a possibility. You might have 1 block. You might have your foot down on the earth without the blocks, or you might bring your foot up and over. Now let's do the yoga handshake. Put a few of your fingers in between your toes. Put a few of your fingers in your, people always ask in between your toes. People say, well, how do I improve balance? Balance begins with the feet. So at least that's the way from a yoga perspective. I'm going to start from the bottom and then think up and then from the top to bottom. But today we're focusing on the feet because that's the foundation. The toes need to spread. They need to be active. When they get all crunchy, which they do, is they very well can get tight. And as we age, sometimes they do some funky things. So it's really good to spread them and move them around. Let's lean forward. So now our pelvis is moving forward. It's moving forward. Now push your hips down and take a breath in and as you breathe in, imagine you're creating space in your right hip. Space, a stretch, a lengthening, and exhale out any tightness. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to push down through the bottom foot. Inhale, rise up, and we'll go one more time. Press your right hand gently into your thigh, not your knee. We are not forcing body parts. We don't do that. Lean on forward. This is a variation you might be doing. We're tilting from the pelvis. So if the lower back is rounding, don't go down any further. We want the pelvis to move forward, not backward. So it's up and forward. Stop when you feel the range of motion. Breathe. Breath is in. Breath is out. And if your hands don't reach down to your foot, you can get it later in different ways. You know, I love those toe separators. Breathe in and breathe out. Sometimes I put them on before going to bed just to have them on for a while. You can put them on during a break in the day when you're having a seat. Inhale, rise up. Let's extend the leg and do the other side. It's good to lather, rinse, repeat. So the first time, what I mean by that is, it's good to do a pose once, twice, or even 3 times. Your body, the first time you're introducing where it's going. It's going, oh, that's where you want me to go. Oh, I haven't moved that way in a while. The second time, it knows more where it's going, and you may be able to move deeper. The third time, you might even get even deeper yet. So that's why repetition is a really good thing to do. And sometimes people like these more holding poses. So breathe in and breathe out in whatever variation you're doing on the left side. Breathe in space into your left hip on your inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your nose. And if you were doing the yoga handshake on that side, on the other side, and make sure you do it on this one. The toes could be very different on this one. You may only fit a few of your fingers in between the toes, and that's okay. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice the sensation of breathing in and out. Okay, before we go down to the earth, because this is important for the lower back, let's do the hip flexors in the seated position. There's a few different options. We've looked at these before, but I'll remind you. So one is to hold on to the sides of the chair and take the top of your foot down. Now you can do this on the side of the chair too, like that. Some of you may feel it something like this, where the knee is still forward and not quite pointing down. If you get a cramp, come on out of it, step your foot down, maybe put a blanket or a block, something to give it a little relief here. And then you'll go down until you feel a stretch. So the knee is going to angle down. It might be here because that's where you feel the stretch, and it might be here. You can face forward and go towards the edge of the chair like this, or so either inside a foot, or the reason to go to the side is really to get this outside of the foot down. I'm showing it this way because you want to do the one that feels safe for you. You also can have a chair next to you to hold on to, so you know you're not going anywhere. And then you're going to take the knee down until you feel a stretch. Now, if you are not feeling a stretch, chances are your rib cage is jutting forward. So let me show you what I mean by that. And you may want to lift your arm as well. So here we are. And if my rib cage is like this, I don't feel a stretch at all. The lower back is going, the hips are going back, and the lower back is curving. So I've got to push down, angle that sit bone down, and then I got to take these ribs back. Feel your sitting bone on the side that's on the chair. It should be straight down. We don't want it tilting back because that's going to pull on things. We don't want it going forward, right about in the center. You might take your outside arm up as you hold on to the side of the chair. Breathe in and breathe out. You could reach up really high if you want. And maybe if it's available to you, you might take the second arm up. Notice if your shoulders are creeping up and try to relax them down your back. Breath is in. Breath is out. Your toes can be curled under or top of the foot is down. It's really going to be about what's comfortable for you. If you curl the toes under, you're going to get a little bit more muscular action there. And imagine you're squeezing your legs towards each other, belly tones, maybe you reach up a little bit higher. And then exhale, let that go. Bring the foot back to meet the other one. And then choose your variation for the other side. So it's going to really depend on how tight you are. It's also going to depend on cramping through your feet. If it comes, you know, that cramp comes in, make sure to step down on it, let it go. Do not push through a cramp. You also, the blanket can be extremely helpful. So I'm going to do the other side. So here's what it looks like forward. And you know, there's this little bar here, so it's easy to knock it. That's one of the reasons I prefer the either outside of the chair version or turning to your side. Here's what it would look like forward. And then this blanket's gonna go back here like this. And now I've got left hip on the chair, right knee down. Still holding onto the chair and might have another chair here. Now, I'm going to show it on the side so you can see this whole rib cage thing, because it really is key. And remember what we're stretching here, the front of the thigh and maybe into this hip flexor area. So my knee isn't quite down. I'm going to put a block there so it has something to press into. With the blanket, it's too much for me, and I can feel that the hip is lifting, so I'm going to take that blanket away. If your hip is creeping up, it's not right, an adjustment needs to be made so that the hips are level. Then you can play with tilting forward, not going to feel any stretch there, might feel some more weight in the front thigh. So I'm going to push down through the front thigh, lift up, pull the belly in and up, pelvic floors in and up, hug the legs towards each other, rib cage is back. Maybe lift one arm, maybe lift both, palms are facing each other. Lift up, but press down through the lower thigh. Press down through the lower thigh. If, I didn't show this on the other side, I should have. You could take the leg back, but that can really get into the lower back. So without me being there, or you know, you really got to know not to take this thing back if it's going into your lower back. Don't dump in the lower back. This is about lifting up and out of your waist. But if you can, for some people, they're really mobile there, and so you run and pull the belly in and up. But this may be the best way for you to get a stretch. So for some people, the stretch is here. Let's bring this foot forward and go down to the earth. So we're going to slowly go down, take your block, your strap, your blankets, and come on down safely. You know, people do all kinds of different ways to come up and down. We really should have a class just on that alone. But the first thing is putting the chair against the wall so you know the chair is not going anywhere. The second thing, maybe putting a blanket down for your knees. You also don't want to trip over any props, so get them out of your way. And then you face the chair. Most people bend one knee, take one foot back, bend the knee to slowly lower down. And it's okay not to go down. Know that. Your practice may be practicing a lunge like that. Let me show you what I mean by that. Just a little side thing as you're going down. You may just practice this. Just practice these little, it's kind of like a little squat. It's a little squat. And then you would practice the other side. Start there. Be easy on yourself. It's okay if you don't go down. Okay. I'm going to go down because that's what we do on Fridays for this class. But just know you can always do the first part of the class and then take a break for the second part, or maybe do parts of it that you can do in the chair. We're going to do some cat-cow, which you definitely could do in the chair. So I'm going to place this blanket so it's under my knees and take the hands forward. They're just about under the shoulders. And then let's play first with cat-cow. So toes can be curled under or tops the feet down. Exhale, round your spine, gaze at your belly. Notice how the pelvis is tilting back here. It's like the Halloween cat, getting closer to that holiday. And then inhale, belly swoops down. shoulder blades come together, gaze is forward, about a few feet in front of you. Now let's exhale. We're going to take the gaze towards our belly in cat pose. So the gaze helps up. And then inhale, gaze is forward and slightly down. Exhale, we round. Inhale, we curl the other way. Feel the shoulder blades on the back. Come to a neutral table. Come to a neutral table and let's circle the knee around and about, which also could be done in the chair. You could take your knee up and circle it around and about. You can use your hand for help if you're in the chair. So we're taking the knee forward, out to the side, back and around. Out to the side, back and around. And one more. And then extend the leg, place the toes down, push out through the heel. Curling the toes under. Let's work a little bit on strengthening the hamstrings here. So lifting the leg passively and pulling the heel in towards your buttocks. And then extend it away. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, extend it out. Push out through the heel. Exhale, pull it in. Feel what's activating in your hips. Extend it out. Lower the toes down. Bring the knee on in. And let's do a little bit of a wrist stretch or release. So place the top or the back of the hand down. And then bring the wrist back up and do the other side, top of the hand down. It's kind of like the top and the back. Back of the hand down. And then reverse it and circle your hips around and about. And then either stay on your hand, your left hand, or you can come down onto your elbow. If your hand has had enough and you want to come down onto your elbow, go for it. We're going to do that same thing we did in the chair. Take your right arm out to the side and up, but this time let's give it a little pulse. So pulsing it up and down, little pulses. Feel your shoulder blade come onto your back. So you could be like this on your hand or on your forearm. You want to make sure this bottom shoulder is externally rotating. It's moving away. It is not collapsing in. Shoulders don't like that. A few more. And then maybe you take your hand back behind your hip and then open up that top shoulder. Release the hand down. Let's find a child pose in between sides. So toes together, knees apart. Arms may be forward if you want to get a good stretch there, but if it's too much on your shoulders, bend your knees, relax your forehead down on your forearms. What's really nice for the lower back is to massage it by swaying side to side, side to side, to side, to side, even it up. And then let's get a nice crescent moon out of this. So take your arms toward the right and let your left hip pull back. Breathe in space into the left side of your rib cage. Breathe out, let any contraction go in between the ribs. Breathe in space into your body. Exhale out, let go. Walk your hands back to center and take your hands towards the other way. So move your hands towards now the left. The right hip is going to potentially move out to the side. You want to feel length along the whole right side of your body. Your elbows can be bent or they can lengthen. Listen to your body. What does it need? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. And then slowly walk your hands back towards you. We'll do the other side. I'm just turning so you can see this side. Blanket underneath. And you could play if you want with turning your fingertips slightly out. That's going to give an external rotation just for a little bit of difference. Notice how that feels. Your shoulder blades may feel more connected and on your back. Let's neutralize out the back. So this is pelvis moving forward, or the cat pose, the cow pose. And this is cat pose, rounding gazes to navel. Find that middle spot where the table's pretty neutral, and then extend your left leg back, push out through the heel, maybe pulse it a few times. And then you're going to bring the knee in towards you, in and up towards your heart, circle it around and about. Loosen up the joint. Very important. These joints, we have to move them or they get sticky. We have joints, we have muscles, we have tendons, we have fascia. It all needs to be moved around. We come out of stagnancy. Extend the leg. And then you might play with pulling the heel in towards you. That's going to activate the hamstring. And then press it away. Pull it in towards your buttocks. Now notice if your ribs are dipping down. Pull them in and up. None of that business of just hanging out, right? And if it's too much, come down onto your forearms. Take a break. You also could be on your belly to do this. Pulling heel into buttocks. Extend. One more time. Release. Let that go. Come back onto your hands. We're going to take, I'm going to come back here because that chair is blocking your view, I think. And you're going to move your right hand a little to center. Now you're going to pulse your left hand out to the side. So it's a little pulsing up. You don't even have to lower the arm down. Feel your shoulder blade on your back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shoulder blade is on your back. You feel it moving in towards the center, towards your spine. 2 more. Release. Let that go. And let's go on to our side. So we're going to go on to the side. So lowering down, bend your knees. And your choice. You can rest your ear on your forearm. Or you could come up onto your forearm. You want to make sure that the shoulder's back. We don't want it coming forward. Knees are bent. We're going to start with the clam shell. So you're going to inhale, open up your knee. I want you to feel what's going on when your hip. Exhale, close the clam shell. Inhale, it opens. Exhale, it lowers. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Now pull your ribs back and lift them up. So you might not be able to see this movement, but I'm moving my bottom ribs upward and then exhale lower. Actually, it's an exhale up and inhale the ribs lower. Exhale, they lift. Inhale, they lower. This is what it looks like on your forearm. It might be a little bit more visible. Pull the ribs up and lower them. Pull them up and lower them. Pull it up and lower them. Now take your top hand, which would be your left hand, and place it in front of you. You could even place it on a block in front of you. And you're going to lean forward and then pull back. Lean slightly forward and then pull back. Beautiful. So this is it can very much be a balanced posture right here. Then lift the ribs up. Exhale, lower them. Lift the ribs up. Exhale, lower them. One more time, hold it. Maybe take your arm towards the sky. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good, maybe you take the arm over your ear and you reach. And then lower it down. Come up to butterfly. We'll do the other side. Come up to butterfly. You might sit on a blanket or a pillow. So this also is so important. We want our hips above our knees. We don't want the hips like this with the knees up like that. So we need to really put a blanket or two or pillow behind you and sit on it. Then we're going to do our butterfly. And if you have a block, you might bring it and put it in between your feet and press your feet into the block. So it looks like this. Hands are on the shins and we're tall. Let's breathe in. And let's breathe out. You might lean slightly forward. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe this is enough upright. If you're not feeling any stretch, you might walk your fingertips a little bit forward till you do. You will at some point press your feet into the block and then release the pressure and let the outside of the feet just touch the block. And exhale, push your feet into the block. And exhale, release that pressure. We sit tall. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe you turn the block onto the next side. You could also use like an exercise ball in between your feet if you don't have a block. We're tall. We may lean forward. So this is kind of like the lather, rinse, repeat. This time I'm widening it each time, but maybe you keep it the same. You can always keep the block the same, or you can make it a little bit wider. So you can either be here or you can be here. And then we inhale and we lift up. And then one more, maybe, but you may be just fine right here. You may be fine just here. So feel it in your body. Where do you need to be? Where does your body need to be at this moment? Breathe in. And breathe in space into your lower back, into your pelvic girdle. And release. Good. We're going to rise back up. Place the block to the side. And come down onto the opposite side now. I think this chair is in the way. I'm just going to move it up here so it's not in your way. Your visual field. Then you can either be on your forearm or relax your ear down on your bent arm. Knees are bent and top hand, it could be in front of you. Just helps you balance. Notice if you're leaning like that and you're coming more to your side, lift it on up. And then, so lift it up, meaning torso, so your side ribs are what are down. Now, if it's too, hard, you could put a blanket under there. Knee is down, top knee is down, top knee is up, feet are touching. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale, we lift up. Clam shell is opening. Clam shell is closing. Inhale, clam shell is opening. Now go slow so you can really feel the muscles moving right in your glute area. Exhale, lower the knee down. Inhale, lift it up, go slow so you can feel what's working here. Exhale one more time. One more time up. Release it down and let's do the rib part of this sequence. Exhale, ribs lift. Inhale, they lower. This is a small movement. It's coming from the core. It's not coming from your shoulders. Pull the belly in and up. Relax your shoulder and release. Pull it in, ribs lift up. Lower it down. Here's what it looks like on the forearm. Lift ribs up, lower them down. Shoulders back, bottom shoulders back. Lift ribs up, lower them down. Lift ribs up, maybe your arm is up, and lower the ribs down. Lift the ribs up, lower the ribs down. Lift the ribs up, lower them down. Lean a little bit forward and then pull back. Lean a little forward and then pull back. So shoulder moves forward, shoulder moves back. Now, use this part of your body, let the shoulder be neutral. So lean the torso forward and then pull it back. It's not a big movement. Notice the shoulder's not moving. So torso's moving down a little bit and then pull it back. Beautiful. One more. Release. Lift it up. Come on out of it and on to the back. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Don't go on your back yet. Let's do the hamstring stretch now. You know, this is that lather, rinse, repeat business, right? So we're going to do on our side or on our belly. On the side, it looks like this. We're back to clam shell. You can relax your head down. You can bring your knee forward, grab your pants, grab your ankle, pull it on back and pull the heel towards your buttocks. That doesn't mean it's going to touch it, by the way. We are stretching the front of the thigh, what we were doing on the chair earlier. Part of our whole lather, rinse, repeat thing going here today. And then you want to breathe. If your ribs are coming forward, not going to work well. Got to pull the ribs back and angle the knee so it's got length. You got length from the top of your head down through the side of your body and out through your knee. Now, you don't want to feel any strain in your knee. Don't misunderstand that. No strain in the knee. If some of you prefer it on your belly, this is how it looks. Head can be down, heel is in, hand to foot, or forearm is down, elbows near to underneath the shoulder. You want the shoulder to be supported. Stay as long as you want on that side. And then when you're ready, switch to the other side. Choose belly or side. And breathe as you're moving, right? So we're getting this tightness out of the front of the body. Tightness out of the front of the thighs and this hip flexor area. So students taught me this. Bring the knee in, grab the ankle or shin, and then pull back. You can just take your hand to the back there, but it gives you a little bit more of a grip. Now, if this leg is lengthened, it turns into a balance pose. So bottom knee is best bent, more supportive. Notice how my ribs are hanging out here. I got to pull them back, and then lengthen. So now I've got length as I pull the heel in towards me, towards the hip. I've got length from the top of the head down, down, down the left side of the body and out through the knee. Now you can have your foot far away and you could still feel the stretch. Notice, I actually am noticing I'm feeling more of a stretch here than I was here. So just notice where you're at and then make sure that knee is not creeping up like this. This will not be helpful for the knee. Keep the knee down as you find that spot where you're getting a stretch. Release when you're ready, let it go, and then come onto your back and bring the strap with you. We're going to place the strap around our shins for bridge pose. So take your time to get there and walk your shoulders towards your ears, feel length in your body. Toes are forward. So notice if it feels like you don't know if your toes are forward, you can take a peek, like take them out to the side and kind of see what's going on and then walk them back in. You can take your hand to your heel and then maybe lift your foot up and then place it down. That would be one way to do it. It's tough. It's really tough. try to do the best you can. You could bring your heels in towards your buttocks and then walk them out. That would be another way to know that they're pointing forward. Hard to know when you can't see, right? So we have to feel, and that's part of the yoga. Now, with the strap around the shins, push down through your feet, lift your hips up, lift your heart up, walk your hands underneath you, make sure there's no pressure in your neck, and then push your shins into the strap. Notice what happens. Breathe in and breathe out. Exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Now, keeping the strap where it's at, inhale and lift your right foot, but keep the heel down. Exhale, lower it. Inhale, lift it. Exhale, lower it. Inhale, pull your toes towards your shin. You can't see it. Lower it down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left foot lifts, but the heel is down. Exhale, lower the foot down. Inhale, it rises. Exhale, it lowers. Inhale, we lift. Pull the toes towards you. Exhale, lower. Let's do both sides. Inhale, feet lift, but heels stay down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push your heels down. And now press them away from you. Notice how you feel length. Exhale, release your feet down. Inhale, feet rise, but heels are down. Pull your heels towards you. Notice how your hamstrings activate. Release your feet down. Release the strap. Release the strap. And we're going to walk in place and bridge. So inhale, right knee in towards you. Exhale, lower it. Left knee towards you. Exhale, lower it. Alternate sides. In towards the heart. Exhale, let it go. Inhale towards the heart. Exhale, let it go. One more. Even it up. Let's do our last bridge. Press down through your arm bones. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Lift your heart. Push down through your feet. Hips rise. Breathe in. Breathe in space. Open heart. Breathe out. Exhale out through your nose. Let it go. Lower the hips down. Extend your right leg. Pull your left knee in towards you. Hug it in. Hug it in. And then let it fall towards the right for your final spinal twist. Final spinal. Arms can be in cactus or T. Breathe in space into your body. Even in this twist, feel the air swishing around in your torso. Exhale, let it go. Breathe in fresh space and air. Exhale, let it go. Roll back onto your back, and interlace your fingers behind the thigh. Press the heel up just to get a last little stretch here. Stretch out the back of the leg. Push the heel upwards. Push the ball of the foot upwards. Feel that length. Let it go. We're going for the other side now. I'm just turning. So, other side, bring your knee in towards you. Give it a hug. And then let it fall towards the opposite direction for your twist. You might turn your head the opposite way as your knee. Breathe in, swish around that air into your torso. Exhale, let it go. With each time you breathe in, you feel space and an inner lift. Each time you exhale, release tension out of the body, the shoulders, wherever you may feel it. You can always bend your knee if that feels better, the bottom knee. You can always bring your knees together. These are just options. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back onto your back, stretch the back of the leg one last time, pushing the heel upwards, maybe the ball of the foot upwards, maybe even circling the ankles. One and then the other, of course. Exhale, let it go. And then stretch long, arms overhead. Stretch through your toes. You feel your rib cage lift. And then relax. Relax, let the rib cage get heavy, the hips get heavy. Inhale, stretch, ribs lift. Point through your toes, reach through your fingers. Exhale, let it go. Find your way to your final resting pose. You might have the bolster under your knees. You might be in traditional Shavasana with legs lengthened, but a lot of people for their lower back need a bolster under the knees. Palms are upwards. Notice how your shoulder blades come onto your back. You might even walk your shoulders underneath you a little bit. Relax your toes, let your feet flap out to the side. Maybe you cover yourself in a blanket. It's getting a little cooler. So a bolster can be very helpful if your lower back is feeling any kind of pain. And use the mantra that we started with. Breathe in space into your body, into your toes, into your feet, your legs, your hips, your belly, your heart, your shoulders, your arms, your hands and fingers. Feel space in your neck as you breathe in. And relax any tension. Breathe into your face, your head. Relax any tension. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay as long as you wish in your final resting pose. I encourage you to take the time, take care of yourself. You deserve it. Yoga is self-care. This is an act of self-care that you've engaged in. Let your body reap the benefits of the relaxation pose. Can't stress it enough. Take the time to nurture your body. And if you know you need to leave earlier than I'm going to end, because I did end a little later, then take that time to rest. So stop the practice and take that rest. That's probably more important than any of the other poses. When you're ready, and it may not be for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes from now, you'll rise. Bring our palms together in front of our heart. Maybe rub the palms together, feel the heat. Place it on your eyes and your cheeks. Take a breath in and out. Palms at heart center, where the light resides. Thank you so much for sharing your light today. I'm so happy to be with all of you. Namaste. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes,
Hope
you
you
have a
do
wonderful,
something fun.
yes. You have a wonderful weekend too, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Namaste, Mindy. and
Namaste,
everybody.
Mary.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. You too. Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much.